Chat, can y'all hear me? Chat, can y'all hear me? What's good, y'all? Listen, hand up, hand up, hand up. Just woke up. Just woke up. G and Cart probably won't be able to join the show just because I just woke up and they're busy. So that's on me, guys. But we're still gonna rock. We're still gonna do a weekend preview. We're still gonna knock everything out within the chat and everything like that. But yeah, that one's on me, y'all. Not gonna lie. I also don't know how to do the background thing either. Where like I might have to call JK. Why isn't JK on here with you? You want me to call him and ask? We could do a live. We could do a live JK phone call. JK, you're live on the morning after.
Oh God.
The people want to know why you're not on here.
If the people must know, I originally thought that it was going to be you, Cart, and Greg, so I went to my girl's house, and I don't have any of my mic or cam or anything with me, and my computer one is horrible.
Got it. And we don't have a one person. We don't have a one person background, do we?
I am currently also exporting Purdue preview, but I mean, we don't. But you could do the little custom, the custom one, and like crop your head in it. But if you're already live, then
yeah, I'm already live.
It's just gonna be a great Deion face experience.
That's tough. That's tough. All right, JK.
Or you could, to give a little bit of vibe, you could click the logo and turn it on to go in the top right.
Click the logo. You talking about the 3-box format? Oh, honestly, the 3-box format doesn't look terrible.
It might work. It should just be narrower.
It's just narrow. It has black on it, yeah.
That's fire.
All right, JK phone call went well, I feel like, chat. The JK phone call went well.
We'll call to the bullpen.
Yeah, we had to call the bullpen in. I think we got some stuff done. All right, JK. You're back on Monday?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Back.
All right, I'll talk to
you. Rick is anxiously awaiting.
Yeah, he's the one that asked. All right, JK, I'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir.
All right, chat. That's on me, by the way. Gotta own the just waking up thing. Probably ruined G and Cart's morning too. I mean, how pointless is it for me to like be 10 minutes late to this? I have one job I have to do every day. It's embarrassing. Let's talk the weekend though. Let's start with Michigan State Duke. I'll be honest, I really like Duke in this game, but Michigan State is hooping. Chat, who we like in this one? It's not that. Nah, they probably didn't care. Hold on, I'm sending Mr. Curtis said I was 10 minutes late too. I feel like most people show up like 10, 15 minutes late anyway. But yeah, it is. I think MSU can pull it off for sure. Oh, Akili, are you going to the game? Have you had any aftershocks? I don't think we had any aftershocks from the earthquake. Honestly, I think it was like a super, super minor earthquake. If anything, there's also a world Straight up. There's also a world. There's also a world that the earthquake like never actually happened, and I just got that notification. Just gonna be completely honest. But the notification was proof that I got it though. I'm an MSU believer. State by 3. Let's see what KenPom has it as really quickly. KenPom has the game 71-70 Michigan State actually. Yeah, the aftershocks are worse than the actual earthquake, Pickle Rick. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, so KenPom has a 71-70 Michigan State. KenPom loves them some Michigan State. Not gonna lie, like loves them some Michigan State. If you go on KenPom and look at the rest of Michigan State's schedule, they only have them losing 3 games, and that's to Michigan twice. Actually, that's not gonna happen. Michigan twice and Purdue. KenPom has Purdue scoring under 80. When do they have that? Oh, against Iowa State. That would be bad. Tominator said, "I'll be interested to see what happens when the first team competes with state physically. In my opinion, that's why they've been these other ranked teams they've played." Are you saying that as if like Duke is physical too? Like it'll be kind of like Michigan State's first game against another physical opponent type of thing? Let's see what else they got on here. I'm not gonna lie, the Purdue Iowa State game I think is actually bigger than Duke Michigan State. I know that's crazy to say, but I feel like the Purdue that Purdue Iowa State game is gonna have like a lasting effect on both team seasons. Um, for one team, I think in Purdue, they're on at the exact same time. No way. So I'm going to say, just in general, I want to see what happens when one team does it. Don't know enough about Duke to say they'll be physical. I got you. Yeah, I feel like size wise, Duke is one of the first teams Michigan State's going against that like will be able to match up with them on the interior. But yeah, those games are on at the same time. That's crazy. Also, can we talk about like Tyrese Halliburton saying he was going to go to a 12 p.m. tip? Like that's crazy too. He doesn't have anything better to do. Louisville, Indiana is at 11:15. Ooh, Auburn, Arizona too. Pickle Rick, you were born in '88. Would have been 1987 or thereabouts. The epicenter was at the New Madrid Fault, and we felt it all the way in Lafayette. Was it a big earthquake, Andy? He went to Iowa State and then playing. Yeah, no, that's fair. I think it's super cool Hallie's going to be there, by the way. I think it's super cool. I wish it was in Mackey, but I think it's super cool that Hallie's going to be there. It was a 5.5 if I remember right, but the ground in the Midwest there is pretty solid, so it conducted the motion all the way out. It lasted about 5 seconds, but it was the weirdest thing ever. Yeah, honestly, like it's in Mackey. I thought they said it was in at the Pacers arena. Oh, my bad. I swear Halliburton said it was in the Pacers arena when I was watching the Pacers game the other day. My bad. Interesting. Auburn is at Gamebridge. IU Louisville's at Gamebridge too. Jesus. Do they like pay money to the big arenas for that, by the way? How does that work? Can we talk about how names are so bad nowadays? Names of what? Arenas, people. Building names did used to be way cooler, not gonna lie. Trajan. Chad, I played pickup yesterday, by the way. I know we're supposed to talk about like the weekend games and then like in the rewatchability, people always get like upset at this stuff. Played pickup yesterday. I airballed 3 shots. Like people were swinging me the rock because the other day I went crazy. Yesterday, like I got the ball way too much. I was just airballing stuff left and right. It was crazy. Scare Time Studio motivation for Iowa State losing Clough to PU. Yes or no? Well, Clough was set. The other team that Clough was looking for was Iowa State. I don't know. I don't know how much motivation that's going to have for them. Scare Time Studios. I'm gonna be honest. I think Iowa State's motivation is just they love to hoop. T. Campbell said, y'all should put me on the payroll. Born in Louisville, raised on Denny Crum Hoops, went to Purdue, 2005 alum, and UH 2012 alum, ultimate college hoops junkie, going to UH, FSU in Houston, where I live. I'll be honest with you, T. Campbell, all financial decisions go through Carter Elliott. Jay Hart says, need to get you in the hoop runs at KZoo. If I'm ever out that way, I always got my shoes on me. Akil said MSU got 400 million. I thought they got 1 billion. Clough was never seriously going to Iowa State. Yeah, would Clough would Clough start on Iowa State? I'm not even trying to be like disrespectful to Oscar Clough. Like I think Oscar Clough's been phenomenal for Purdue this year. It feels way more like the Purdue thing makes way more sense than if he wanted to go to Iowa State. Hold on, let me see something really quickly. Just to make sure I'm not saying something absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't think he starts on Iowa State. Respectfully, I think they go Momcilovic, Jefferson, front court. What kind of car do you think TK drives? TK definitely has a Tesla, 100%. Coda 2 Jameson, why do you hate the Tar Heels so much? What have they done to you? Are you a Tar Heels fan, Coda, before I answer that? He fits us better. Yeah, he 100% fits Purdue better. Like it's a seamless fit for him at Purdue. Iowa State's clunky. I think you go Momcilovic, Jefferson, Oscar Clough. That's a really, really clunky 5-man lineup. Yeah, I could see that, Jay Hart, but that feels clunky to me. Because for as good as Momcilovic is, by the way, if y'all want to know that I woke up late, I mean, I got a water instead of a Red Bull at 7:30 in the morning. Woke up late. Forgot to set an alarm. Just gonna be honest with y'all. Thought I had a free morning. I gotta own it. I gotta be better. TK equals Prius. Trey does not drive a Tesla. I think TK got a Kia SUV with a local dealership partnership. Yuck. We got to be better. I'm being honest. This was the preseason #1 team in the country. We got to come with something better than we got to come with something better than Kia SUV. If you got to get ready for the day, do you go do it? No, I don't have to. So that's part of the reason. I woke up late. I don't work until I don't really have to work until way later today. So I thought I had a free morning. Now that's just on me. Just amateur hour stuff. Not gonna lie. 1 second. Let me scroll back. Coda said absolutely. Absolutely am a Tar Heels fan. Cody, do you actually think I hate the Tar Heels? Like, I would love to have a conversation with a Tar Heels fan about this. I feel like on one hand, I'm incredibly high on North Carolina this year, and I vocalize that a lot. On the other hand, I just poke holes in like what's going on because I feel like I think more of North Carolina than most people do. Like, I want North Carolina to be viewed the way we view Duke. And unfortunately, that comes with some harsh criticism, which might come off as hate. But I say it jokingly because I mean, I love North Carolina. I think Carolina blue should mean something. I'm driving right now. I can't talk too much. All good, Cody. We could do it some other time. Um, TK on a Harley would be awesome. Woke up late, but ready to get after it. I appreciate that, brother. You still going to LA for the concert? I'm thinking about it. Not gonna lie. Ghost is better than Red Bull. I'll try a Ghost one day. Yeah, I think I'm critical on all teams. To be honest, I just that's just the way I view the game a little bit, a little nitpicky. To be honest with you, and I'm aware of that. Milan is honestly my biggest concern because he plays the three so much. Not for sure Purdue has a wing defender for that assignment. J Hart, but he plays the wing, in my opinion, because of who they have at big. Um, like he plays the wing because their tallest dude is like that Plata guy who's 6'11", the freshman, who like barely plays. So I mean, like I think you put Oscar Clough on this team, it looks a lot differently. Like it looks a lot differently. I don't think I don't think it's the same. What are you too harsh on Jakari about, Pickle Rick? Really quickly, IU Louisville. Um, that's a big one for Louisville. Like I can't believe I'm saying that. I don't think before the season, um, is Taman Lipsey not fully healthy? But I don't think I would have thought like how big of a game it would have been like a couple weeks ago. But now after that Arkansas loss, Louisville has to go to Cambridge and get them one. Like they have to, especially Indiana coming off that Minnesota game. Um, and I kind of figured that Minnesota game was going to be really trappy for them, just like a look ahead spot type of thing. But regardless, they went into Minnesota. It didn't really feel like they had a chance. So um, I don't know. I think Louisville has to go get them one. IU has to deal with the pissed off Louisville, but also Louisville has to deal with the pissed off IU. What does a pissed off IU look like, though? like, like what exactly is a pissed off IU? Duke or MSU? I like Duke at the moment. I like Duke at the moment. I have to admit. I think. I think Duke. I think Duke is just more talented, but can match the physicality. Pissed off IU is like when your 4-year-old niece does a temper tantrum. Those are some of the nastiest things in the world, though. Like some of the scariest people in the world is like a 4 or 5-year-old. Because in the middle of their temper tantrum, they're gonna tell you the truth about yourself, and it's gonna be something you didn't want to hear, and you just have to live with that for the rest of your life. Um, at the Brez though, yeah, the Brez changes things. Do we think the Brez affects Cam Boozer though? You were like the Paul Feinbaum of sleepers. Is that a compliment? I don't feel like it is. I don't feel like it is. I feel like that was disrespect. Uh, in terms of the Breslin, like how much does that affect somebody like Cam Boozer? I feel like he's so calm, cool, and collected. I feel like Isaiah Evans is Coda, was that a compliment or was that disrespect? My bad. Would Louisville be a top 3 team in the Big Ten? Absolutely not. Um, I meant it as though you really okay. I appreciate that, bro. I don't mind that. Would Louisville be a top 3 team in the Big Ten? Absolutely not. respectfully to Louisville, as good as their guards are, the Big Ten is built on physicality. The Big Ten's built on consistency and continuity. Louisville has none of that. And then on top of that, I just think the Big Ten's the best conference in the country. So you combine those couple things, and it's a situation where I just don't see how they could be. Plus, they're not like as good as their guards are. Purdue's guards are better. Michigan's bigs would destroy them, and then Michigan State. Michigan State would bury Louisville. Respectfully, I can't believe of those three teams, I think Michigan State beats Louisville the most, but I do. I feel like Boozer's freshman moments get swept under the rug because he keeps having 30 against great teams. Correct. Uh, correct. And I'm not trying to joke about this, Aiden, but yeah, his freshman moments definitely get swept under the rug because he keeps dropping 30 on like the best teams in the country. MSU will beat Duke. Experience matters. I don't disagree with that. Yeah, I don't disagree with that by any means. I think Duke wins, but I do think experience matters. It's really hard for me to sit here and predict that Cam Boozer is going to lose to Jackson Kohler and Carson Cooper. With all due respect, he probably is going to, because that's what MSU just keeps doing year after year. They just keep winning with players that they shouldn't win with. But in my head, it's really hard to pick against Cam Boozer in that spot. Wasn't there some tweet going around that said that some NBA scouts said Boozer can't finish against quality opponents and dominates weaker competition? Probably fuel for the fire for Cam. Yeah, that tweet was a lie, Curtis. One of the all-time great lies, and special. Special. At the end of the day, sometimes you got to bait people on Twitter to get a bunch of the interactions, and that's what they did. Special move by them. For UNC said, what if anything could UNC do to become a top 10 team this year? I already think they are. I think I said yesterday, or maybe it's on the full episode today, but I think I said their ceiling is Final Four. I think this is the second best team in the ACC. And if you're the second best team in the ACC, you're top 5 or top 10. Duke or Michigan, who would you pick on a neutral? I'll pick Michigan right now. I'll pick Michigan on a neutral against anybody in the country at the moment. I think Yaxel, Perez, Mara is the best front court in the game. Yaxel's shooting threes at a very, very high level. What's good, Culver? You excited for the IU game tomorrow? I think Michigan's front court is the best in the country, and if Yaxel is going to make threes at a 39% clip, I think that team's going to be incredibly, incredibly, incredibly hard to beat. Whether it's a neutral, home, or away, by the way, because they have something that they consistently can go to. And a lot of the teams in the country at the moment, minus Purdue, minus Michigan, and minus Duke, don't have the – and Michigan State. I think those 4 teams are the only 4 teams in the country that have okay, here's what we can do when all else fails. You put the ball in Jeremy Fear's hands, you put the ball in Yaxel's hands, Cam's hands, Braden's hands, and a lot of teams in the country are when they get punched in the mouth, they don't really know what to do at the moment just because of how early it is. So I got Michigan over Duke on a neutral. I got Michigan over Duke in Michigan. I think I low-key got Michigan over Duke at Cameron too. Big bedazzled belt. I think I agree. Especially coming off that Arkansas game, I feel like Michael's got to be super pissed off at the moment. And it's at Gamebridge. By the way, okay. Probably a 0% chance this happens. But is there any possibility that Hallie does the really cool thing? If that Hallie does the really cool thing of he goes to Mackey, and then I don't know how far Mackey is to Gamebridge. Don't geography me. But is there any possibility he does a really cool thing of going to Mackey for Purdue, Iowa State, and still makes it to Gamebridge for Louisville, Indiana? That would be awesome. You see my Jakari, 45 minutes. Yeah, he could be there. I think the team just looks better with Meyer. I think Meyer has already jumped Shikari, and it's only been 8 games. I think Shikari looks close to the same player as last year in real games. Do you feel that way about CJ Cox as well? Because I feel like that's a part of the question now too. Drew said, "Who's the biggest sleeper team in the Big Ten?" Um, Hold on, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Biggest sleeper team in the Big Ten. It's definitely not Iowa. It's definitely not Washington at the moment. Can I be honest? I don't know that there is a sleeper team in the Big Ten. I don't know that there is a sleeper team in the Big Ten. It seems like the good. Would Wisconsin count? Would Wisconsin count? I like Wisconsin a lot. Do you view Bama as a title contender with Bethea coming back? Phylon has been amazing. Do we think Jaleel Bethea is actually going to play? I love Jaleel Bethea. He did a layup. Card and I bet Miami like first half against Virginia Tech this past January. It was like week one gambling stuff, like gotta hit your first bet of 2025. I think we were recording the full episode and everything, and Jaleel Bethea did like this layup, this jelly layup, and I was like, oh, that's my guy. He never played again, it felt like. And then he just immediately transferred, and I was confused because that layup was sick. So I love Bethea, but like, are we 100% sure he's actually going to play? We didn't respond to the physicality. Not too mad. First road game, they exposed some holes we have, and now we got to respond. If IU plays great, they can get us. I agree with that. How many units on Tennessee are we feeling? To be honest with you, I think a flyer Tennessee future isn't the worst thing in the world. Jacoby Gillespie and Nate Amen are as good as any duo in the country. Only problem with Bama is they can shoot lights out 6 games in a row. It'll be tough, but not impossible. I think that's also their problem, though, Pickle Rick. Like, I think that's everybody else's problem, but I also think that's Bama's problem, is that they have to shoot lights out 6 games in a row to win. Are you on the MSU Duke preview? I'm not on the MSU Duke preview. What about Michigan versus Michigan State? I like Michigan against Michigan State. I think Michigan can match Michigan State's physicality. And I think teams that can match Michigan State's physicality are going to be a real issue for Michigan State. I also think Elliot Cadeau and Jeremy Fears are really similar. Obviously, Jeremy Fears is a lot better, but some of those similarities, I think there's a world they both wind up in foul trouble. It costs Michigan State a lot more if Fears is in foul trouble than it costs Michigan if Cadeau is in foul trouble. Anyone else think Louisville would have completed the comeback versus Arkansas if they switched the zone the last 3 to 5 minutes? Watch it again and you'll see. I was texting my group begging for Kelsey to do it. I do think going to zone against Bama helps you, but it also could kill you. So I understand why coaches don't want to do it, because on one hand, like, yeah, they're missing shots, so that's what you want to do. And then on the other hand, they can knock down 10 threes in a row. It's a really tough thing. Will Peterson's return, if ever, dramatically improve Kansas? I hope so. I mean, Kansas looks really good without him, though. That's the problem. Arkansas was abusing Louisville with the driving dish and isn't a great three-point shooting team. Arkansas was also abusing the Ville in the glass, which the zone could have solved too. I agree with both those, yeah. I got you, Pickle Rick. Yeah, we're on the same page with that. Shooting 6 games in a row, like, that's tough. When Trimble comes back, the heels will be dangerous. He brings defense on the perimeter, more fast break opportunity, and the ability to get into the lane, which breaks down the defenses. I agree, Coda. I've been very high on Trimble the last 2 years. I love Trimble's game. I think Trimble is the type of guy that like will just do the little things. And every team needs somebody that's just going to set that screen, that's just going to play that defense, that's just going to stand in that corner, and he's going to hit his shots, and he's going to dive on the ground for that loose ball. And I think Trimble does all those things. Is Michigan State worth a half unit future? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think guards win in March. How many guards in the country are better than Jeremy Fears? You can probably count it on one hand. And honestly, it might just be Braden. Michigan did look vulnerable against Wake and TCU. Yeah. The reason I like Michigan, the reason I like Duke so much is when they looked vulnerable, they still won. I think that's important. So did that player's error money go to the current roster, or does that go to Dusty to use later? I think it's both, Aiden. So I think the team gets some money for their NIL fund, and then the players also get money after the fact too. Michigan being able to go Yaxel Mara 3-5 against us and be fine will suck. Yeah, it will. Not gonna lie. Pickle Rick says, "Who do you got winning the NBA title this year?" Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm like 90% sure they're just gonna win 75 games again. Should Braun retire, or not again, but they're gonna win 75 games. Should Braun retire after only scoring 8 points last night? No, I would like him to get traded to the Warriors. T. Cable says, the best college game I've ever been to was when Purdue was won with Edie and IU was ranked and we lost at Bloomington 79-75. Have an epic photo with me in a vintage Big Dog jersey with the sea of red behind. Your best college game you ever went to was a Purdue loss, bro? You had to have been to some fun Purdue wins. Who do you think would win the Mara Clough matchup and the TK Yaxel matchup? Really, really good question. Wow. I think Mara beats the Clough matchup. Yeah, I think Mara. This is tough. I think Mara wins the Clough matchup. TK Yaxel's interesting. TK Yaxel's interesting. I think they beat each other. And I know that's not gonna make sense, but like I think TK can't guard Yaxel. I think Yaxel can't guard TK. So I think it's gonna be that one would be like first to 20. I think Michigan needs Yaxel to win that matchup a lot more than Purdue needs TK to win that matchup. Can Michigan and Duke go undefeated before matching up? Let me see. Probably not, though, right? Like they play in like February. Okay, Duke certainly could. Yeah, and Duke certainly could. Michigan plays Purdue on the road right before. I'm going to say no. I think Michigan loses that game to Purdue on the road. Conference futures parlays. Purdue, UConn, Duke feels free. I agree with that. Purdue definitely feels free to win the Big Ten, and the other two definitely are going to win their conferences. OKC going to win 70, win a ring, then get 2 top 10 picks next year's draft. What's the second top 10 pick? Look at the stats. Clough wins the Mara matchup. I'm not saying he doesn't. I just like Mara. That's all. I'm not saying Clough can't win the matchup, though. That's just my opinion. Aiden says, I think it's worth mentioning that Yaxel came back to college for money and looked like he didn't want to be there against Wake Forest, but played really well when there was more money. Yeah. Yeah. Real quick. I work harder when there's money on the line. That's human nature. What we're not going to do is be mad at Yaxel for saying, hey, there's $1 million on the line. I'm going to play really hard. We all would too. That's just how it works. Yaxel wanted $1 million. Yaxel got $1 million. To me, it's more impressive that Yaxel said, hey, there's $1 million on the line. I've decided I want this, and went out and got it. I love that. But yeah, I mean, listen, if your boss, Big D, you need a co-host. Honestly, brother, this one's on me. I'm supposed to have 2 co-hosts. They have 1 million things to do this morning. I wasted their time by not being here on time. So like, I have to do this solo. I have to hold myself accountable. I got to be better. And I'm just gonna be honest, this is really hard to do solo. So like, I think I definitely feel the pain that I've given myself. Deion, you need to be held accountable for the insane Kentucky propaganda you spoke on preseason. Yeah, I agree. Did you watch the Kentucky videos yesterday, Clover? I just mean Mara breaks and Mackey. Just speaking in terms of when they play. I'm just a little suspicious of the mentals when the money is gone. No shade. That's probably fair, but I think Aiden, from a March Madness perspective, that money is basically I should put on a quarter zip and tie pickle rig. That's probably true. That money, the money being gone element of it is he's playing for his draft stock at a certain point. So there's going to be more money than ever on the line. Can you be mad at him if there isn't $1 million on the line and doesn't play hard? I think that would be an issue. Yeah, I think you can be mad at him if there isn't $1 million on the line and he plays poorly, but I don't think we've seen that so far. Nebraska is a sleeper team in the Big Ten. Maybe. I don't know that I want to say that, but maybe. Fears has more assists and a better assist-to-turnover ratio than Smith, FYI. Yeah, I stirred up a lot of stuff the other day when I said that I think Fears is a better passer than Braden Smith this year. I still think that. Are you going to go to a game at Mackey? I would love to. Who wins the SEC and Big 12? Big 12, I think, is BYU right now. SEC, man, the SEC is up in the air. I'm going to say Arkansas at the moment, but I think Bama is probably the right answer. So I watched Michigan State player interviews. They look like Guantanamo Bay prisoners. Kentucky players are wearing fresh weeds and 5K glasses. Complacency is the enemy of success. Was that your way of saying Kentucky's being complacent? Can Will Wade catch more heat on y'all's show for how much he opened his mouth in the preseason, only to fail miserably so far? Let's be honest, Coda. I get why North Carolina fans want Will Wade to catch more shade, but like, it's just North Carolina State to me. You know what I mean? Like, that's not to say he's doing a good job, but like, who cares? It's Trey Holloman and Will Wade in North Carolina State. Like, I think if North Carolina State's one of those teams where if they're doing really good, you talk about them. If they're doing bad, they probably don't catch that much heat. That's just the market aspect of it. The environment at Bloomington when we were one was epic. Sucked we lost, but wasn't okay. I get that. Deion, you're doing great. Got you up on my 98-inch TV while I'm doing my budget. That family life, it's real. Hand up. I hate responsibilities. Yeah, responsibilities suck. Not gonna lie. What do you think of Xavier Lee's struggle? Simply adjusting to a new team, or is he not ready for Power 5 play? I said it before the year. I don't think he's a Power 5 player. Well, he's a Power 5 player. I don't think he's a Power 5 player in the way Florida's trying to use him. I don't believe he can play that role. That's kind of always been my thought process on it, and I don't think that's really going to change. He's not Walter Clayton to me. I think he lacks explosiveness. I think he lacks quickness. He has a great jumper, but everything he did at Princeton had the ball in his hands. He doesn't know how to play without it, and I think at this level he has to learn how to play without it because there's other people that are better with the ball in their hands. Kentucky players feel like they've already made it. NBA has fashion shows even after a home loss to an NIT UNC team. UNC's not an NIT team. Let's not be crazy now. This UNC team is really good. They went into Rupp and won a game where Caleb Wilson shot 5 of 19 and Seth Trimble didn't play. UNC is one of the best teams in the country. Visar is the perfect center for this era. He's the perfect center next to Caleb Wilson. I love Jonathan Powell. No one's ever going to convince me not to. That's my West Virginian dog. If Bogavats ever gets it going, by the way, like if Bogavats is ever the player Riley Davis told me he was, man, is this UNC team good? I think luckily for all of us, Bogavats is not the player Riley Davis told us he was, but if he was, man, would we have a really big issue on our hands. Yeah, I watched the vids. I agreed with you. Don't let Pope slide because JQ is injured. He knew he would be out. Still misread the guys he retained and the guys he overpaid for. I'm not letting Pope slide for it, Culver. I'm just mentioning, like, I don't like saying $22 million roster when $11 million isn't playing. But Pope, I think I said it on one of the videos. Pope coaches as if JQ's out there. Like, it doesn't, like, he's speaking on like his decisions he's making as if like the team's fully healthy. I don't understand what Pope's doing. I've constantly been on Pope's side since I wasn't a year ago, and I admitted I was wrong and like kind of moved on from it. But like, I'm starting to think I was right just early. I think everything I said about Pope prior to last season was correct. I was just early on it, and man, this has been a tough start to the season. Like I don't know, man. Like, I mean, we got Peanut. I don't know how to say your name, bro. So I'm I'm talking to you, the Kentucky fan. Like, straight up, man. Like, this team could use Calipari. That's all it is. I know Kentucky fans don't want to hear that, but if you're gonna spend $22 million, I think you'd rather do it with Calipari. Greg Garcia Assassin said, if you're a Michigan, or excuse me, Marquette fan, would you back Shaka for his portal decision and commitment to freshmen, or be smart and realize he's got to go or change? Why can't he just do what Paint did and pick and choose his spots? I understand not wanting to use the portal all the time. Some coaches have their opinions on it, but I think Paint said, I'm going to use the portal now because I got 3 incredible seniors. Why can't Shaka do the same thing? Hey, I have an incredible roster. I'll use the portal to fill in the blanks. I don't think you have to use the portal to get stars necessarily the way Dusty did. It's definitely working for Dusty, but I think there can be a middle ground. Nicole said that Friday night Purdue IU matchup in Mackey this year is going to be an elite environment. Yeah, I mean, I bet you that thing's going to be sick. Duke versus Arizona on neutral. Who you got? I got Duke. Hey, D, you ever thought about watch partying some games? I have thought about watch partying some games. I don't know how it would work. I don't know how it would work, though. And I was 15 minutes late today. So, like, I don't think me expanding anything I'm doing at the moment makes the most sense. I think I got to lock in on the stuff I'm currently doing and actually show up on time. Kentucky paid for 2 top 25 teams. Injuries are no excuse. I agree with that. Bogovax has been disappointing, but I think Seth makes everyone better because of his ability to do so much. Bogovac should get more open shots, just has to hit them. Yeah, hitting them's where I'm not sure he's going to do it, though. How did Kentucky look so good against Purdue in the exhibition, and now it's almost completely flipped? Excuse me. Did the exhibition win make them too confident? I don't think it made them too confident. I just don't think, respectfully, I don't think exhibitions really matter that much. Just gonna be honest with you guys. I just don't think exhibitions matter that much. It is what it is. Like I think a lot of stock got put into a game that, like, honestly, probably neither team cared about that much. Kentucky just was making shots and Purdue wasn't. Will Wade will end up becoming the Lane Kiffin of college hoops. That's a really high bar. I think Lane Kiffin's one of the best coaches in college football, and I think we're about to find out at LSU. Getting Ole Miss to the college football playoff is no easy task. I think the only harder job maybe in America that's been done is getting Indiana to the college football playoff. Purdue didn't know prep, treated like a pickup game. They certainly did. You just pull up the live game cast on ESPN so people can sync up where you are in the game. Okay. I'll talk to Deion Card about it. If they're cool with me doing that, I might do it. I will admit, though, guys, it's really tough for me to do watch parties during the week. It would probably have to be like on the weekend just because of my job. Playing for Pope at Kentucky is like hating your boss and your coworkers but making double your salary. It's like, damn, I don't want to play for that guy, but it's $2 million. I feel that. Hey, by the way, would love to make $2 million to work for somebody that I hate. Gonna be honest. I mean, I would love to make $2 million to work for somebody I hate. What's your favorite thing about your job? Easily my staff. I love them. I love my staff. Like, if they ever need anything in life, like 30, 40 years from now, if I'm still here, obviously, I got them. They're cool as fuck. I have a good time. They make the job fun. And honestly, it's a job that really shouldn't be fun at all. But they definitely make it really fun. You've gotten Ole Miss to the playoff like 3 times. Respect. I think I got some work to do this year. Culver, is there any chance I could get Ole Miss to the playoff this year, even though we're 4-5? I feel like if I win the SEC, I'm in. Watch parties are more of a weekend thing anyway. That's true. Do you think IU's football spending will affect their basketball spending dramatically? Probably, but I don't know that I would care. To be honest with you, I don't know that I would care. I think I'd rather, and if I was on a college campus, I need my Red Bull. This is insane. I'm gonna go for like 5 more minutes, guys, and then I'm gonna hop off. Videos are starting to come up on the channel. If I was on a college campus, I think I'd rather my football team win the Natty and my basketball team makes like a run in the tournament, but like ultimately loses. So if I was a IU fan, I think I'd be okay with that. Matt Painter knew beating Purdue in an exhibition was a curse. He honestly probably did. What do you do for work? Don't know if I've ever heard what you do. So I'm a program manager for a company. I have 11 school sites within a school district that I oversee. I have about 60 or 70 staff that work underneath me. And they coach sports at each site. And then I have lead staff at each site that are kind of like a elementary school athletic director, I guess you could say. And we kind of just oversee the whole program for them. I do, obviously I do hiring, I do budgeting, I do, if someone gets in trouble, I got to fire them, I got to replace them, so on and so forth. So, standard management stuff, but I normally work from about 9 or 10 until roughly about 6, maybe 6:30. And then I also have to work Saturdays because Saturdays are game days. So, in terms of watch parties, like I'll talk to G and Cart and see if it's something I could do, but it will be probably hard for me to pull off schedule wise. If you win, you're in. I haven't been locked in on it either. Lost to Tristan, but then beat Cam. Yeah, I lost to like 2 CPU in the SEC because I just like wasn't paying attention. But it is what it is. I give 25 a month quota. I think I might start putting that money towards a hair club for membership. All right, y'all. That's how we're gonna end it. I'm super, super sorry, guys. I blew it today. G and Cart should have been on it. Should have been on here, but I blew it. I gotta own it. I'm sorry, fellas. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, we can get everybody back on. I promise I'll start it at 10 a.m. every single day. We won't be late ever again. I'm sorry, fellas. Everybody have a good weekend, though.